There is a force in the world that creeps silently into the lives of men and women, often undetected, often disguised as caution, prudence, or practicality. It appears with subtlety, whispering doubts into the minds of the ambitious, blinding the eyes of the dreamers, and placing invisible shackles on the feet of those who dare to pursue greatness. That force is fear. And if there is anything that robs humanity of its potential more than any war, any poverty, or any system, it is fear. Fear is the tool of the devil, the weapon wielded not with explosions or bloodshed, but with hesitation, complacency, and surrender. There comes a time in every person's life when they must face this fear, not with trembling hands or hesitant steps, but with the sword of knowledge and the armor of purpose. For in the great battle between faith and fear, victory belongs to those who refuse to drift. Drifting, that subtle surrender of the will, is the silent enemy of progress. It is the state in which a person relinquishes control over their mind, allowing the currents of circumstance, influence, and idle thought to drag them along like a lifeless leaf on a restless stream. Drifters are everywhere. You see them in the eyes of those who live for the weekend but dread the week. You hear them in the words of those who speak only of what cannot be done. You feel them in the silence of dreams unspoken and talents unused. A drifter is not just someone who lacks direction. They are someone who has handed over the reins of their own mind to the world around them. And once you give up your mind, you have given up your soul, your destiny, your power. But there is another way. There is a narrow, difficult path that cuts through the fog of fear and leads to the mountaintop of freedom. That path is mastery over one's own mind. The first step on this path is responsibility. No one will give you permission to become great. No one will assign you your mission. You must take it. You must rise and declare that you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. You must stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect, because they never will be. The devil thrives in delay. Every time you say not now, fear claps its hands and grows stronger. Every time you say maybe later, the devil adds another chain to your mind. But when you say I will, the game changes. When you say I must, the chains begin to break. When you say I am responsible, the devil retreats, for he cannot reside in the presence of accountability. Responsibility is the flame that burns through the fog of fear. When you accept that your thoughts, your actions, and your results are yours alone, you awaken a power that cannot be taken. You begin to live intentionally. You stop drifting and start driving. Intentionality is the antidote to drifting. A mind with purpose is a mind the devil cannot control. A person with a mission is a person who has locked the gates of their soul to fear. You may not yet know your mission, but you know the feeling of being lost without one. And so you must pursue clarity. Ask yourself not what the world expects of you, but what the fire within you demands. You were not born to conform. You were born to create. You were not made to obey. You were made to originate. The world does not need another follower. It needs a leader, and the first person you must lead is yourself. To lead yourself, you must think. Most people believe they are thinking when they are merely reacting. True thinking is rare. True thinking requires effort, solitude, and discipline. It requires you to challenge what you've been taught, to dismantle your fears, and to build a new belief system on the foundation of truth. The devil depends on your ignorance. He thrives in your unwillingness to confront your own assumptions. He hides behind the lies that society tells you to keep you quiet, to keep you complacent, to keep you ordinary. But you are not ordinary. You were born with the same potential as every great person who has ever lived. The difference between them and you is not talent, luck, or opportunity. It is decision. They decided to think for themselves. They decided to rise. They decided to no longer be victims of fear, but warriors of faith. They chose definiteness of purpose, and so must you. Definiteness of purpose is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, you will drift. Without it, the devil will own your soul. With it, you become unstoppable. You become focused, energized, and unshakable. You may still face failure, but failure is no longer a defeat. It becomes a teacher. When you are definite in your purpose, every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow. Every rejection becomes a redirection. You begin to see life not as a burden, but as a battlefield on which you were born to triumph. This triumph begins not in the outer world, but within. The real war is always internal. The devil does not approach you with horns and a pitchfork. He comes as procrastination, distraction, and fear. He comes as that little voice that says, "You're not ready. You're not good enough. It's too risky." But that voice is not yours. That voice is the residue of other people's failures, other people's doubts, other people's fears. And you must silence it with action. Action is the enemy of fear. Fear cannot survive in motion. The moment you move, fear begins to shrink. The moment you step forward, fear starts to fade. You may feel afraid, but you must act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important, and nothing is more important than your freedom. The cost of fear is your destiny. The price of inaction is your potential. You cannot afford to wait any longer. The world is starving for people who are fully alive, fully awake, and fully committed to their mission. So choose to think, choose to act, choose to rise. Reject the comfort of drifting and embrace the challenge of direction. Refuse to be controlled by the opinions of others. Refuse to be shackled by outdated beliefs. Refuse to be limited by fear disguised as logic. Take command of your mind, for it is the only domain over which you have absolute control. And when you master your mind, you master your life. You must also protect your environment. The devil works through influence. He surrounds you with negativity, with noise, with cynicism. Guard your mind like a fortress. Be mindful of what you consume. Your thoughts are shaped by your inputs. Feed your soul with truth, with hope, with greatness. Surround yourself with people who speak life, not death, with people who challenge you to grow, not keep you small. Your associations will either drag you into drifting or elevate you into destiny. Discipline is your shield. Discipline is not punishment. It is power. Discipline is the daily decision to honor your purpose above your pleasure. It is the structure that keeps you moving when motivation fails, and it will fail. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is enduring. The person who wins is not the one who feels like working. They are the one who works regardless of how they feel. They have trained their mind to obey their will. That is freedom. Faith is your fuel, not blind faith, but earned faith, the kind that grows with every step you take. When you move with purpose, the universe responds. When you act with intention, doors begin to open. When you speak with conviction, the world listens. Do not wait to believe. Act until belief becomes inevitable. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build. You will be tested. The devil does not surrender easily. He will tempt you with comfort. He will distract you with pleasure. He will discourage you with setbacks. But he cannot defeat you unless you give up your mind, and you won't, because now you know, now you see. Now you understand that you were born to rise, that the same energy that fuels stars lives within you, that the same power that built empires, composed symphonies, cured diseases, and sparked revolutions, is flowing through your veins. You are not weak, you are not helpless, you are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece in motion. Rise. Every day is another chance to outwit the devil. Every moment is another choice to reject fear and embrace faith. Every breath is another opportunity to decide who you will become. Will you drift, or will you drive? Will you surrender, or will you stand? Will you listen to the voice of limitation, or will you speak the words of liberation? The devil fears a free mind. He fears a soul on fire. He fears a person who knows who they are and where they're going. Be that person. Burn with purpose. Blaze with belief. shine so brightly that fear has no place left to hide. This is your time, this is your battle, and you were born to win. And rise not once, not twice, but every single time life knocks you down. For every fall there is a lesson, for every bruise a badge of honor. The devil wants you to mistake failure for finality, but failure is never the end unless you choose to make it so. It is a mirror showing you where to grow, not a wall to turn you away. The strongest souls are not the ones who have never been broken, but those who have learned to rebuild themselves stronger each time. And if there's anything that renders the devil powerless, it is persistence, the relentless drive to keep going, especially when the path is darkest. Understand this: your potential does not expire. The lie that it's too late is one of the devil's most seductive deceptions. Time has not passed you by, it has prepared you. Every heartbreak, every loss, every betrayal has forged in you a resilience no shortcut could ever teach. You are not behind, you are right where your lessons needed to take you. And now the only direction left is forward. Look around you. Look at how many people are sleepwalking through life, not because they lack dreams, but because they lack the courage to chase them. Don't let that be you. Don't become a spectator of your own existence. You were meant to participate fully, to bring your whole soul to the world, not just fragments of it. If you can feel a restlessness inside you, that is your spirit crying out for expression. Do not silence it. Do not smother it with excuses. That restlessness is not a burden. It's a compass. Follow it. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged. That is the price of living awake in a world addicted to numbness. Most people would rather mock the dreamer than confront their own dormancy. Let them talk. Let them laugh. You are not here to please the masses. You are here to fulfill a mission. Let your results be your response. Let your life be the loudest answer. The journey to freedom is not one of convenience. It demands effort, sacrifice, and above all, honesty. You must be brutally honest with yourself about where you are, what you've tolerated, and what you've avoided. Honesty is painful at first, but it is the only doorway to real transformation. Lies comfort you temporarily, but truth empowers you permanently. Do not shrink from the truth. Stare it down. Wrestle with it. Let it break the illusions that have kept you small. And when the illusions fall, you will see what was there all along: greatness. Not the kind that needs applause, not the kind that wears a crown, but the kind that radiates from an aligned soul. Greatness is not a title, it is a state of being. It is living in obedience to your higher self, not your fears. It is rising each day with a burning desire to serve, to grow, and to create. You are not chasing greatness, you are uncovering it. It was always within you, buried beneath doubt, buried beneath fear, buried beneath years of being told to play small. Now is the time to dig. Now is the time to become the version of yourself that you know you were born to be. The version that no longer needs validation. The version that doesn't wait for motivation. The version that walks into every room with presence, not arrogance, because they know exactly who they are and what they stand for. But you must also protect that identity. The devil will return again and again, often in disguise. He'll come as distractions, promising entertainment instead of enlightenment. He'll come as compromise, urging you to settle instead of strive. He'll come as comparison, making you question your worth by showing you someone else's highlight reel. Do not fall for it. Keep your eyes on your path. There is no fulfillment in chasing someone else's version of success. Define your own it unapologetically. Your gift is unique. Your calling is specific. The longer you avoid it, the more restless you will feel. That restlessness will not be cured by pleasure, by possessions, or by praise. It will only be satisfied when you live in alignment with your truth. The devil cannot touch a person who is aligned. Alignment is power. When your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony, you become unstoppable. You no longer chase opportunities. They come to you. You no longer need to prove yourself. You simply express who you are. And as you express yourself, you begin to inspire others, not with grand speeches or heroic gestures, but with authenticity. With the quiet strength of a life well lived, with the courage to be real in a world full of masks, you become a lighthouse for others lost in the storm. You shine not because you want attention, but because you cannot help but shine. It is who you are, but never forget, light casts shadows. As you rise, the devil will try new tactics. He'll plant seeds of ego. He'll whisper, "Look how far you've come. You can relax now." Do not let success make you complacent. Do not let growth make you arrogant. Stay humble, stay hungry. The devil cannot manipulate a person who lives with gratitude. Gratitude is a weapon. Use it daily. It keeps your heart open, your mind clear, and your soul grounded. Every day you are given a choice: drift or drive, submit or stand, fear or faith. That choice determines your future. Not talent, not luck, choice. Consistent choices become habits. Habits become character. And character determines destiny. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice. Repeated, deliberate, courageous choice. There will be days when you are tired, days when doubt feels louder than hope. On those days, remember why you started. Remember that the devil wants you to give up just before your breakthrough. That's his last resort, to wear you down, but he underestimates your resilience. You were built for this. You've come too far to quit now. You've sacrificed too much to turn back. Dig deeper, push further, trust that your persistence will pay off. And if ever you forget your strength, remember this: you are still here. After all the battles, after all the heartbreak, after all the fear, you are still here. That means something. That means the devil hasn't won. That means your purpose is still alive. That means the fire in you is stronger than the darkness around you. So rise again, and again, and again, until rising becomes your nature, until fear no longer phases you, until drifting is a memory, not a pattern, until the devil no longer even bothers with your mind, because he knows he's already lost. You were born for more. Not because you are better than others, but because you have finally decided to claim what is yours. You are not meant to survive. You are meant to thrive. You are not meant to hide. You are meant to lead. You are not meant to be controlled. You are meant to create. The keys to your kingdom have always been in your hands. Now it is time to use them. The world is waiting, not for someone perfect, but for someone brave. Not for someone who has all the answers, but for someone willing to seek the truth. Not for someone who conforms, but for someone who dares to be different. Be that person. Outwit the devil not just once, but every single day. With your discipline, with your purpose, with your unbreakable will. This is not just a speech. This is a challenge, a call to arms, a declaration of war against the forces that seek to keep you small. Will you rise? Will you take command of your mind, your habits, your life? Will you live wide awake while the rest sleepwalk toward regret? The devil is watching, but more importantly, your destiny is waiting. Then let the call echo in your bones every morning you wake up. Let it shake the dust off your dreams and ignite the fire in your chest. Let it remind you that you are not here to merely exist. You are here to evolve. You are here to transcend the limits that were handed to you by those who gave up on themselves. You are here to demonstrate what happens when a person refuses to drift, refuses to settle, and refuses to bow to fear. There will be days when your confidence wavers. The devil thrives in those moments. He creeps in when your mind is weary and your heart is uncertain. But even in those moments, you have a choice. You can let fear become your identity, or you can face it and strip it of its power. Fear only has control when you believe it. But when you see it for what it is, a shadow, an illusion, a trick, you begin to laugh at its attempts to own you. And laughter is another weapon. The devil cannot stand joy. He cannot inhabit a spirit that rejoices even in adversity, that smiles even in struggle, that sings even in storms. So find joy, not just in the outcomes, but in the process. Find joy in the discipline, in the grind, in the quiet victories that no one sees but that move mountains in your soul. Let every step you take toward your purpose be filled with gratitude. Gratitude for the strength you've built, gratitude for the wisdom pain has given you, gratitude for the fact that you can still choose, right here, right now, to begin again, stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. Make no mistake, the devil will not stop. He will come with new distractions, new temptations, new tactics dressed in new clothes, but every time you resist him, you grow. Every time you choose truth over comfort, you become sharper. Every time you lean into fear and move anyway, your soul becomes freer. You don't defeat the devil once. You defeat him daily in your habits, in your mindset, in your relentless refusal to be less than you were born to be. And as you walk this path, you will inspire others to do the same. Your life will become a light, not a spotlight to draw attention to yourself, but a beacon to show others what is possible. You won't need to preach. You'll just live in such a way that others feel empowered by your presence. Your example will do what fear cannot: awaken the sleeping giants in others. There will be those who don't understand you. That's okay. Let them talk. Let them speculate. You were not sent here to be understood by everyone. You were sent here to shake foundations, to disrupt mediocrity, to awaken the dead. The devil wants you to fear being alone, but solitude is where leaders are forged. In the silence, your voice becomes clearer. In the isolation, your resolve becomes steel. And when the time comes to lead, you will do so not because you craved it, but because you earned it. Remember always, your mind is sacred ground. Do not let weeds of doubt take root. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of your soul. Your soul knows the way, it remembers the vision, it carries the fire. Feed it with truth, fuel it with action. Fortify it with discipline, and when fear visits again, and it will, invite it in, sit it down, look it in the eye, ask it what it has to teach you this time, then thank it and walk on, because fear is not your enemy. It is your compass. It points to where the growth is. It shows you where you've been hiding, where you've been playing small, where you've been drifting. Don't avoid it. Use it. There is a power in you that the devil dreads. It is not your talent. It is not your intelligence. It is your defiance, your refusal to quit, your decision to believe in yourself when every voice says you shouldn't. That power is rare. That power is divine. That power is yours, so let the fire rise. Let your life be your rebellion against fear. Let your every step be a declaration. I will not drift. I will not bow. I will not give my mind to the enemy. I will live with purpose. I will love without fear. I will build, create, lead, and shine. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are becoming. Every setback is shaping you. Every delay is preparing you. Every trial is equipping you. Nothing is wasted. Not one tear, not one failure, not one dark night. It all counts. It's all part of the forging. And when you arrive at the summit, when the devil is a speck in your rear, you mirror, you will not feel arrogant. You will feel humble. You will know that it was never about being better than anyone. It was about being better than you were yesterday. It was about honoring your calling. It was about refusing to die with your music still in you. So play your music, loud, bold, unapologetically. The world needs your song. The world needs your courage. The world needs your example. And the devil, he can watch, powerless, as you do what he fears most. Live free.